Who we got?
Hello. What's going on, guys? We are here. It is January 2nd, 9:02. We're 2 minutes late. We're here. I guess because it's Tuesday, we might finish out the week. We might not. I got travel plans for the rest of this week. Let me put my headphones in, and I see that Mr. Henry Weinberg has joined the chat. But I hope you guys had a great start. Great New Year's. How are you doing, Henry?
I am terminally ill with COVID, but other than that, I'm excellent.
Wait, you got COVID?
Yeah,
How?
it's just been going around.
Do you feel different?
I'm normal sick, but no, honestly, in the past when I've had COVID, dude, my back has been fucked. Like it's hurt my muscles a lot. But right now, I'm just kind of normal sick.
Okay, so I've never ever been. We're gonna start. I can start the episode this way, and I'm sorry, I did not flip the camera over to you. Here's Henry with COVID, but I never got diagnosed with COVID. I got vaccinated. I did not do all the boosters because I thought that was too much. I think I got one booster. I did the full vaccinated, but I didn't get. I think it was what, two, three boosters there are now. I got one. Okay, I got the first booster, thought it was enough. Okay, I didn't. It was always a process to get it, but I'm all for it. Okay, I'm not like over here anti, but here nor there. I've never. I've only been sick, like legit, like flu-like symptoms once in the past 3 years, and it was before COVID. It was the Thanksgiving before COVID. I got flu-like symptoms. Okay, but since then, during COVID, never missed school, never missed anything because of being sick. Like the most I had was sniffles or anything. But I do sometimes have had. I've never ever been someone who's never had a back injury, but there have been instances that I've had weird like weeks where I've had just bad back pain, and I don't know where this back pain came from, and I just feel a little extra tired than usual. And and Nikki and I always talk about this, that we're like, what if we've had COVID? I don't know if she ever. I don't think she ever tested positive either, but like I feel like I've had to have had it, but I've never been positive. You like when have how many times have you had it?
So I went through the exact same vaccine course of action you did, where it's like got my vaccines, got one booster, didn't need to do anything else. And then I like the only like indicators that I ever like tested positive was the fact that I was struggling to sleep at night and like it just hurt my back that much. So I feel like based on that conclusion, I've had it twice and this will be my third time.
Wait, how bad did your back hurt? And like, how was like insomnia, or were you just waking up a lot? Like,
Like
how different did you feel?
more so just like tossing and turning, like aches,
Oh,
achiness in general. It wasn't like killing me, but it was just very, very inconvenient to like stay at rest and be comfortable.
so okay. Did you noticeably note something was wrong, or could have you gone on and just thought like, oh, I'm just sore?
Yeah, it felt like it was definitely different.
Oh,
That's like it was the like inclination that I was ill. Like the
oh,
inkling I was
okay.
sick.
Kind of like when when you have like the flu, you have like the aches,
Yeah.
because I can't really sleep when I'm sick. I sleep, but I'm like in and out of like insomniac sleep, where you like sleep for 30 minutes and you come back and you know what I mean.
Yeah.
What's up,
But I
Jackson?
don't have that right now, but now I'm just kind of normal sick. Throat hurts and I know I got COVID
Oh,
because everybody
you have
around me has
COVID?
COVID.
Yeah, yeah, that's what we're talking about.
Oh.
Yeah, we because I've never had COVID or been diagnosed. I have the vaccine and everything, so I'm asking him to give us like his symptoms and shit.
Welcome.
Give
Yes.
taste.
Yeah, do you
Yeah,
have,
got taste. My friends don't have taste and smell though.
were you aware COVID was going around? Did you get this New Year's, I guess, from going out on New Year's? Or you a fuck? Were you a
Mm,
sick fuck and you
That's
knew?
too that's too recent, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah, he's probably a sick fuck and he knew he was sick and he went out. He went out to have a good time, and then he
You should
got
have
the.
masked, bro.
Yeah, you should have been Asian and wore. I don't. It's not an Asian thing, but
What?
I mean an
yeah,
Asian.
I tested negative on the 31st. My symptoms started yesterday.
How convenient.
Why'd you take a test on the 31st?
Yeah, yeah. Aren't you supposed to start quarantining as soon as you start feeling symptoms? Somebody over here is putting people at risk.
I put people at risk for sure.
I'm all for it.
Uh, I'm chilling, but I've been responsible in the past 24 hours.
Are you
I'm
in a very
It's a new
low?
it's a new year. It's a new me, really, at this point.
Okay, is this just dark, or are you underneath a bunk bed, or a very low-hanging roof, or is it a very dark room that you're in?
I have no overhead lighting in my room.
Oh, okay. And also, your room is like
It's wood.
angular. It's wood and it's like angular. Like there's an
Yeah,
angle.
yeah. No, it's a huge angle.
Yeah, it's like a slope, some would say. I don't know what the slope is, but slope of a line, I've heard recently. But either way, let's get into some news. Did you guys see OG Anunoby and RJ Barrett and Emmanuel Quickly all had their debuts last night? OG Anunoby helped the Knicks get themselves to a win. I believe he had 17 points. While Emmanuel Quickly and RJ Barrett, I did not watch the Raptors game. That's the one I did not. I'm a Timberwolves fan, so. The Raptors also got a win, 124. I saw that Emmanuel Quickly dropped 14 and RJ Barrett had 19 and 9. And people actually said that RJ Barrett looked really good scoring off ball in transition. I think he had a couple spot up shots. Shout out Josh Ludenberg for keeping me filled in with what was going on with that game. And I love Emmanuel Quickly. Everybody knows how good Emmanuel Quickly is. The fact that they got Scotty Barnes and Emmanuel Quickly as their backcourt, oh, I actually really like that. Emmanuel Quickly is easily going to get Anthony Simons money. Whole thing now is, first off, which one do you guys want to talk about first, Raptors or Knicks? I have a whole Knicks talk in a sec, but let's start Raptors. So fuck you guys. I don't care about your opinions. Raptors supposedly, I mean not supposedly, but they got themselves RJ Barrett and Emmanuel Quickly in a second round pick for Precious Achua, Malachi Flynn, and OG Anunoby this past weekend. And it came out that around the league, RJ Barrett was viewed as a toxic slash negative asset. What is your guys' thoughts of the trade of the Raptors? And then we'll get into Pascal Siakam. Pascal Siakam tonight had 36 points, or last night. I don't.
Yeah, I saw similar things that you expressed viewing from Toronto media. People were thankful that RJ was juicing tempo and good in transition and just like bringing a little juice offensively. I do not view him as a negative asset, but I don't view him as anything more than like a neutral asset. I think he's kind of plateaued as a player, but I think he's still a decent contributor.
I'm trying to think of a guy who recently, and I don't mean to cut you off, Jackson, if you were to say something, who was a reclamation project. Not because he's not like Lowry, because Lowry was like, maybe he is like Lowry, and that you think he's plateaued, and that I just, Lowry went to a whole other level, and I no offense to RJ, it's just a really big jump to like say for him to go. So I'm trying to think of another guy who was a reclamation project in recent years that in similar theory that I think I agree. I think RJ Barrett's a really good, two like a swing man who can play the two or the three and even be a small ball four, who's a solid rebounder, can be a secondary ball handler, but he's kind of a jack of all trades, not necessarily great at one thing. But yeah, what Jackson, what are your thoughts?
Happy New Year, Thomas Barrett. I like RJ Barrett. I don't get the. I'm looking at his contract. Oh, it's because it's backloaded. He's on 23.8, but I'm like, I'm thinking that's not too bad. But I guess when he ends his tenure, he'll
It's
be up
just
close to 30 mil. I think
what's his
a
ceiling?
toxic trade asset, like that just sounds goofy to say, really. Uh, I like RJ Barrett a lot, but he's under contract for a while. He's a Duke player, so I'm a Duke. He's my Duke
Fanboy.
legend. So I love the dude. IQ is nice. Uh, OG to Toronto's, or sorry, OG to New York is really cool.
Yeah, I
I'm
want
a,
to
I'm
talk
a
about
big
that in a
fan.
sec.
I'm a pleasant fan, but I think quickly he's a great guy for the Raptors to pick up. And I think RJ is too. Scotty Roy is the future. So you got to build around him. Get him some young guns that are under contract for a while. So you have some options here.
I like the trade, but correct me if I'm wrong. Henry might remember this last year. Supposedly the Grizzlies and Pelicans last year were in a bidding war for OG and Anunoby last year, where there was 2 first-round picks was the opening like talk, okay. And now, don't get me wrong, this trade is not bad because you got yourself Manuel quickly, who people around the league is the guy's going to be a perennial Six-Man of the Year candidate. He's borderline, arguably, could be a guy who could be a borderline all-star. He's in the same vein as Tyler Hero and Jordan Poole and the rest of those guys. Good Anthony Simons, like I said earlier. The fact that they
Well,
got a
yeah.
second, well,
Well, I think it's just a contract.
it's the contract is just with RJ Barrett is like, what is he? Like, best case scenario at this point is he's a guy who's averaging 17, 7, and 5. All right.
Oh, I would take that. Yeah,
So
yeah.
would I.
I think they
So,
would too. Yeah.
but
I think you kind of have to see the writing on the wall that OG and Anunoby wasn't going to re-sign with Toronto, and if he was, you'd have to pay him a shit ton of money. And I don't think he really separated himself from
I agree. The contract,
Siakam nor Scotty that he's like, this huge vital piece of their future.
they basically traded for 2 guys that they're going to, that RJ was going to be cheaper than what they were going to have to pay OG and Anunoby. And Emmanuel quickly, they have this restricted free agency. So they basically have 2 guys who are young, who fit the timeline next to Scotty Barnes, that don't need the ball necessarily in their hands, and they fit like the what they need in Toronto, and they'll be there long term, and they have control of those guys' future, unlike they did for OG Anunoby and Pascal Siakam, who we'll talk about in a second.
Right.
We
And
got a
as you
rat
were
fan
alluding
for
to,
that.
that is what Toronto preferred over 2 to 3 first-round picks as was being offered at the deadline last year. Which makes you wonder, though, were those picks protected? What kind of like actual value of draft capital were we talking about? But quickly was the sell. They wanted somebody who can slot in next to Scotty and be a part of the future.
Yeah, and quickly easily goes for a first round pick in my mind. So that takes off a first round pick there. I'm just I think the whole thing was about roster flexibility while also maintaining control of whatever players they were trading for, because the whole problem here was they weren't trying to repeat a situation of Fred VanVleet from a few months back. That's my 2 cents. And in a sense that I think that everyone won the trade. Now, if we do get a confirmation that the Pelicans or somebody put on the board last year, like Dylan Brooks, 2 first-round picks, and Zaire Williams, then I'm sorry, Raptors. I would have maybe taken that Dylan Brooks deal. Again, this is a hypothetical situation, but you guys get what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah. But
But if my aunt
yeah.
had balls, she'd be my uncle. That's the whole thing at this point.
Yeah. But you're starting to see also the trend around the league of, all right, let's take this asset, let's go get our guy. And Tyrese Halliburton is the quintessential example, but the Raptors wanted IQ, and there's a decent chance he breaks out there.
What do you mean,
And they hold him in
Tyrese?
RFA, they can probably get good value on him.
What do you mean, Tyrese is a quintessential example?
Like we have Sabonis. Let's go get the guy that we want.
They didn't want. No, that's not how that worked out. It was the other way around. Kings had Halburn. They didn't really want. Not that they didn't want Halburn. They liked Halburn, but the Kings wanted to be a playoff team. Halburn was not viewed, even in Sacramento. What Halburn became in Indiana was not expected. Okay, Indiana got Halburn kind of as like a sweetener to the deal, as like the deal. It's not that Indiana did not seek out this deal. The Kings sought out Sabonis because they were like, hey, Halburn, we like you, but you don't fit Fox's timeline. We're trying to win now. Halburn was on a rookie deal. Fox was starting an extension. So they went out and got an actual running mate for De'Aaron Fox, and the trade chip they had to be able to get them a all NBA level player in Domantas Sabonis was Tyrese Halliburton, because he was viewed as a guy who had all-star potential. Now he became a guy who seems like could have MVP potential. I don't mean to cut you off. That's just my one gripe with that.
Hmm.
Because even Tyrese A, when he was drafted by the Kings, was way better than what we thought when he was drafted. But then when he got traded to the Pacers, and he got like he got the usage rate that he didn't have because he was playing with Fox, and he got the touches that he wasn't getting because he was playing with Fox. He went from, oh, this guy could be an all-star, to this guy might be MVP, Hall of Famer, best player of his. Yeah, you know.
Yeah. But case in point, the Raptors prefer getting the player.
Yes, 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 yes. So let's pivot. Let's pivot right here. Pascal Siakam.
Jeremy?
What?
Oh, Jeremy Pivens.
I love Jeremy Pivens. He just finally got unblackballed, blacklisted
From Russia.
from Hollywood. Like he's back finally making movies. Okay, so we got a couple things to talk about right here. And the first one I wanted to talk, we heard that the Sacramento Kings, the Indiana Pacers, and the Atlanta Hawks are the three teams that have the most interest in Pascal Siakam. Supposedly couldn't speak right there. The Mavs have interest in him, but it's overstated. That's coming from Mark Stein, that the Mavs did register an interest in Pascal Siakam. But Mark Stein adds that their interest is overstated, and it seems like they're more interested in Isaiah Stewart, but they do want an upgrade at power forward. However, Pascal Siakam prefers to play out the season and become a free agent should he not agree to a max contract extension with the Toronto Raptors, versus Mark Stein off the Stein line. The Raptors can offer right now through June 30th a 4-year, $190 million extension. The teams that trade for Siakam can only agree to a 2-year extension. Siakam is unlikely to agree to a 2-year extension and instead become a free agent. The Mavs have registered interest in Siakam, though it's overstated, as we previously mentioned. The Pistons and Grizzlies could also emerge as trade candidates besides the Atlanta Hawks, Kings, and Pacers. I've said it before. Hawks, they don't want to give up Jalen Johnson. The deal that they would like to do is probably a package surrounding Clint Capella and DeAndre Hunter, with Clint Capella going to a team like the Pelicans or Grizzlies. And then those teams sending assets to the Raptors, as those two teams could need center help. And then DeAndre Hunter going to the Raptors, while the Kings have said they're not trading Keegan Murray or Sabonis or Fox, and probably not Malik Monk. So it would have to be a Harrison Barnes, Kevin Huerter, Davion Mitchell deal, while a Grizzlies package, I personally believe, would probably be along the lines of Steven Adams packaged with young assets, which would be a boatload of Jake LaRavia and like Santi Alama, I would only assume. While what's the final? The Pistons. Pistons can eat a lot of that salary, but they would probably want to do it around Joe Harris, Jaden Ivey, and maybe like Marvin Bagley to get that deal and some picks. But what are your guys' thoughts on Pascal Siakam? Do you see him staying in Toronto? And what team do you see most likely to get him, as the packages aren't as impressive as people would think? And also the Pacers, they're saying that the package would be around Jarris Walker. So, thoughts, boys?
I like it.
Oh God, bro! I saw you looking pensive. You got nothing more than that to say.
I think what was the team you just said?
I said a lot of teams. There are the Pistons, Grizzlies, Kings, Pacers, Hawks.
No, none of those. Get him to Golden State, but
Golden State's a dark
realistically,
horse, but it would be Wiggins.
I think the Kings should probably do it. I don't know if Indiana. Oh, it was Indiana. My bad. I don't think it's something they need to do quite yet. What worries me is what you just said with Siakam wanting to enter free agency. So
What's your problem
I
with
think
it?
Atlanta should desperately try to acquire him. I would probably give him like DeJounte Murray and AJ Griffin straight up, or DeAndre Hunter and DeJounte Murray straight up. And I would figure that out immediately. Because if the Hawks don't do it, I think the Hawks need to do it. Like if they were going so hard at him around the draft in the offseason, and they're like, what? They're terrible. They're so bad this year. They need to do this. Otherwise, it's over. I mean, I don't think Trae Young's gonna ask for a trade, but they're not a good basketball team right
I
now.
would say that Atlanta and Memphis are the two teams that should pursue it most. And if I'm the Raptors, I'm probably most intrigued by the package that Memphis can offer me.
I think
Jake
Atlanta won't
Laravia,
do
David
it.
Roddy, and a second round pick.
I'd want to. You could definitely get a first from the Raptors
They give you Steven
or,
Adams too, which
or
would give
from
you.
Memphis.
They would give you Steven Adams too, which would give you cap flexibility, which I think the Raptors would be looking for. But at the same time,
Why wouldn't I want the Memphis Grizzlies have zero things I would want,
they have a lot of
including
young players.
if
And
why would
picks.
I
They,
why
they got
all
they
of a
got
sudden
picks.
I want draft picks now. I don't know why I wouldn't just try and get my point guard of the future and DeJounte Murray.
TP says, I don't think a Siakam trade is likely until the deadline, as I believe Masai wants to see how this group plays. A little small sample window. Now, Siakam makes just under 40 million. A Luke Kennard with Steven Adams gets you to just over 27 million, and
Terrible.
then you could probably throw in Brandon,
Review.
and then you can do a combination of Jake LaRavia, Zaire Williams, David Roddy, Santi Aldama, John Conchar if you want, or the easiest deal would be Luke Kennard, Steven Adams, Brandon Clark, 2 first-round picks.
Go to bed.
That's not a bad deal right there.
Decline.
Yeah, Clark and 2 firsts is solid.
Yeah, Clark, Kennard, Adams, 2 firsts. You get guys who are all under contract. Now, if they don't want Clark, if they don't want all that contract, then you can do the boatload of player swap. But like then it complicates things because you would have to like salary matching and all that stuff.
I'd fire Masai, probably.
Well, it depends what they want. If they want to rebuild, they go for the young guys. If they want to kind of like be mediocre,
Why am I rebuilding if I have my franchise player and Scotty Roy
that's
Barnes?
what I was getting at.
And
That's
I
what
just
I'm getting
traded
at.
for
That's why you
RJ
trade for
Barrett
Luke Kennard,
and
Steven Adams,
IQ.
Brandon Clark, and you.
I don't want any of those garbage basketball players.
2 of those players.
And that's why you accumulate assets, and you can use the draft capital to get better or to trade it for other assets.
Well,
In
yeah.
true,
Why wouldn't
Jackson, wait, take off your Bulls fan hat and
give me
then
Jaren Jackson Jr. for an expiring Pascal Siakam.
What we're saying is Steven Adams and Brandon Clark are out for the season. They are injured, so they would just be assets, even if you don't want them forever. Okay, like Steven Adams does not make sense for the Raptors, but he won't
Just
play
seems
for
like a
them.
backwards move.
It's
At
not-
that
it's a
point,
trade-
at
it's
that point, I'm
contract
calling
you can trade.
Indiana and I'm saying, give me Jarris Walker. Let's have a combo here.
And the problem with Indiana is they don't want to give up Buddy Hield, and a deal around Jarris Walker would require them to like it'd be very, very tough to do that deal. They have the salary to eat, but I think they still have to match at least like it'd have to be like TJ McConnell, Obi Toppin, and Jarris. I think at least the starting, or like Aaron Nesmith wouldn't be the easiest package because they don't have the salaries to match.
I don't see that at all. Memphis.
I'd also find it unlikely they'd part with their reigning top 10 pick for somebody who's about to be 31 next year, and they're going to drop the bag on, who also doesn't make them like great.
They could be desperate though to like get that next step.
They could be, but I don't think they are.
Did they just stop playing Jordan Wara?
Yeah, they did.
They just played him weird. I love Jordan Wara, but like last year he had like a solid, like when they picked him up off of waivers,
He's burying threes.
like was solid. He's showing that he could be like a combo forward. Okay, he was kind of showing the guy. He was averaging 13 points and 5 rebounds for them. All right,
Yeah.
and now he can't even get on the court for 10 minutes.
Totally replaced by Nesmith.
Yeah, I guess
Ooh.
that's why. But like, this is a championship player.
Hey, Aaron Nesmith leading the league in 3-point percentage entering yesterday.
Mile High 6 says, oh, Will's my guy, making Bronco videos all this year and making Raptors videos all last year. LOL.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's continue. So I honestly, I think the whole thing with Pascal Siakam, if the trade does happen, I think what they get for that trade will be indicative if that they're trying to contend from the middle or if they're trying to rebuild. If they take a deal like DeAndre Hunter and other players, then they're just trying to find players that they think they can like reclamation, like long term, like they're gonna Like, don't get me wrong, I think DeAndre Hunter would fit. It just RJ Barrett, DeAndre Hunter, Scotty Barnes, Emmanuel Quickly, and Jakob Poeltl would be the most interesting goddamn team on this earth.
with DeJounte.
Throw DeJounte in there.
I
So
have to. It's Siakam.
from what I know is DeJounte Murray, he's a clutch sports guy, and if he does leave, he's going to LA.
Fuck yeah.
The
Yeah, I'll give you THT in a 2027 first
they're
for
saying
DeJounte.
THT, you're the Jazz.
Yeah. No. Lake Show.
All right, we just talked about this team. Let's talk about the New York Knicks. They got themselves OG Anunoby, Malachi Flynn, and Mr. Precious Achua. Okay, and I want to hear your guys' thoughts. What do you guys think of the? I guess you would say the Knicks. Are they legit? Are they a team that we should? I think they put themselves in front of all they've gotten better, but I wouldn't say they're a championship team. I still think they're below, but they're in the pack. They're in the hunt, you could say. And I think getting OG Anunoby instead of RJ Barrett just it raises the floor and raises the ceiling. One might say not by much, but I think you flipping RJ basically for OG, and then you're also getting your backup center and Precious Achua, which you needed because of Mitchell Robinson's injury, as well as getting yourself a Malachi Flynn. Even though you extended Miles McBride, Malachi Flynn, somebody that you can get as restricted free agency, could be a good thing. What is your guys' initial thoughts? We assume starting lineup is going to be Brunson, Dante DiVincenzo, OG Anunoby, Julius Randle, Isaiah Hartenstein, with Miles McBride, Quinn Grimes, Josh Hart, and Precious Achua probably being the guys who are going to be in the rotation with a little bit of Taj Gibson in there and Jericho Sims. Initial thoughts? When did you guys go?
All right, before I dive into my on-court Nick thoughts, is there an alternate universe where they re-sign quickly an RFA and then use him as a trade chip, and then OG, a CAA Leon Rose client, just comes to the Knicks in free agency?
I think they want to make a deal happen before Evan Fournier's contract expires, so then they can flip. Because now they're geared to make a second move. Because by once what you're basically suggesting is sign and trade, they wouldn't have been able to take as much. I just don't think it would have worked out. I think they needed to make the moves now because they're trying to beat out the cap implications that are going to happen when for the second tax apron and the first tax aprons become into effect this offseason. That is my thought because they could turn around, package Quentin Grimes, Evan Fournier, Jericho Sims if they wanted. And they can also, there's talks if they wanted to trade Julius Randle. They could trade Julius Randle at this point. All those, basically a Quentin Grimes, Evan Fournier, Jericho Sims deal right there. That gets you to just what I would say that gets you to about $24 million just Evan Fournier, Jericho Sims, Quentin Grimes. So there's multiple decent players you can get for $24 million just by packaging those three players and some picks. Or if you do Evan Fournier, Julius Randle, now you can go get yourself a max contract guy in a trade. Like you could literally trade for Paul George if you wanted, or Donovan Mitchell.
True. Under the pretense of a second deal coming before the deadline, that does make sense. No names immediately come to mind, obviously, but that is a lot of flexibility to go and get somebody.
And I think that's why they did. They lose the flexibility to go out and get a move by winning. They have a window right now to go do this, and they know that. And right now, Grimes' value isn't as high as it was last year or this offseason, but it's still pretty high. People still like him. So, and then they have him Fournier, who's perfect salary filler. Just they're geared up to make a move and to be the ways. Then, like for example, I don't think this is a move. If they're gonna trade for someone, they're gonna trade with someone on a multi-year deal. Like the most realistic person they trade for is Jeremy Grant right now. That's probably who they're trading for.
Which would create an interesting log jam. Not a log jam, but a pretty deep forward cast.
Yeah, but I think that's kind of what they want. I mean, I could be wrong, and they could go for something. Dwight Howard is signing a contract to continue his basketball career. Are broad details.
5G. In the midst of pursuing an NBA comeback, Dwight Howard plans to sign a deal to play for the Philippines team Strong Group in the 2-week Dubai International Basketball Championship in January. Sources tell me the 8-time All-Star and 3-time Defensive Player of the Year continues his basketball career with this deal, allowing him to stay in shape and visit a foreign market to play.
Why is this news?
He's playing in Dubai.
He's playing for a Philippines team in the Dubai International Tournament to stay in
Hey,
shape.
we should go to that.
To go to that. We could go to Paris if we wanted in 10 days. Right now, I'm just saving up to go to the All-Star game.
Go Hoosiers.
Go Hoosiers.
Indy, actually.
Aren't the Hoosiers in Indy?
Yeah. Well, they're in Bloomington, but
But isn't
it's
that
still,
like 20
Yeah.
minutes? It's like less than an hour, right?
it's the Hoosier State.
How far away is Indy from Indiana?
An hour.
Oh, damn, it's not close.
Yeah, slightly less than an hour.
It's like Terre Haute. Is it Terre Haute or Terre Haute?
Terre Haute.
Terre Haute?
Haute.
Haute?
Yeah, imagine it's just like H-O-T. It's like Terre Haute.
Who?
Yes.
Haute? I don't know. I've
All right,
slept
fuck
there. Okay, let's continue to next. But,
You said I've slept there.
huh?
You said I've slept there.
I know. Yeah, I have. I slept there once in a Holiday Inn.
All right. I think the Knicks are gonna miss IQ's playmaking. I think that crowdsourcing it through Grimes and Josh Hart and
Ryan
and Dante
Arcidiacono.
DiVincenzo for some second units is gonna suck. But I think OG is a huge foundational puzzle piece for this team eventually becoming a contender. So I'm excited about the move from the Knicks ideological standpoint.
Jackson, what do you think of this?
They already are contenders because of the in-season tournament. Were they contended?
Oh, you're a fat.
Nothing.
No.
Nothing. All right. Well, if the Lakers didn't win it, everyone would think it's the Pacers are contenders because they won it all. But anyways, I get it. That's how GOAT James is. Anyone really quickly? Does anyone want to take a guess who the oldest player in the NBA is right now?
Hey, I love
Who is it?
that LeBron. I love that LeBron just pulled up and took that three. Or that two in the Minnesota game. Instead of even looking for his teammates, bro, that's Killer Bron. Where is he in the clutch? Where is he in clutch games? That's what we need. That was a glimpse of what it can look like. We need it all the time.
It was a 3, though.
It was a three, I think. You got to call it a three on the floor. It's crazy they didn't.
The fact that
It was.
if Fred VanVleet is the 14th highest paid player in the NBA shocks me. Would you
Anyways,
trade?
the correct answer was LeBron James is the oldest player in the NBA, and he's still top 10 in the league, which is crazy.
Julius Randle for Pascal Siakam. Call him back up.
Sure.
The Toronto Knicks.
The Toronto Knicks.
I like OG a lot on the team, and they need some defensive help. But I agree with Henry with the bench. But I don't think the Knicks are done. I do think, as shitty as it is, you had to get rid of IQ eventually if you're not gonna reach a contract extension. So, kind of just had to be done. But the Miles McBride extension might be an absolute steal by the end of the year. But we'll see. I think I like that they did it this early so that they can go into the next 5-6 weeks and have a better idea of what type of bench player they need. If maybe it's two, maybe you want Jordan Clarkson and Kelly Olynyk. I mean, a move like that would really shake it all up, but I absolutely love it. And you're off RJ's contract. Like, I think it was a good deal for something that probably needed to be done.
So is Miles McBride not trade eligible for 6 months / this whole year?
I think they just gave. Yeah, probably.
I don't think they would want to trade him.
Yeah, even if they. Yeah, I think he's not trade eligible for at least, I think, 60 days.
Okay.
I miss LeBron James, man.
Yeah, 60 days is probably right.
I think at least 60 days. And either way, if they gave him a fucking extension, I don't think they're looking to trade him at least till the offseason. Miles McBride's got that dog in him. He's everything that Javon Carter wants to be.
It's everything that Tom Thibodeau needs in a man.
No, that's Javon Carter, but Miles McBride gives him more.
I just saw a Javon Carter like hype tape.
Dude, I saw Quincy AC hype tape.
Really?
Dude,
I love
you
that.
didn't know you needed a Quincy AC mix until you saw a Quincy AC mix in your life. Okay, Quincy AC. Also, did you guys know Quincy AC is only 33?
Oh, good for him.
Reggie Evans is 43.
Wow, really?
Yeah, dude. Also, I made a video on Archer being canceled, and they got 1,000 views within like 10 hours. So I'm like stoked. I didn't think that was gonna be a thing. Right here. Yeah, over here. I gotta show you this. This is the Quincy AC mix you didn't know you needed. I don't know how to
So
download.
goofy.
Huh?
So goofy.
We're gonna switch over to the Memphis Grizzlies in a second, but
Fuck it. Jake LaRavia highlights.
love Jake LaRavia. Hey, people are high on him,
Yeah, like you.
like me.
I saw a trade because I was thinking about trading Jay Sean Tate, and I saw a mock trade. It was like David Roddy, Jake LaRavia, and a second round pick. That was the joke from earlier today. It was that Jay Sean Tate trade package. I was like, I'm all set actually.
Well,
If that's what a Jay Sean Tate trade would command with like Jock and Depot, which makes sense because it's a Jay Sean Tate.
Jay Sean Tate's reputation's being fucking tarnished this year. I just want to say
What?
this.
What do you mean?
People are acting like he's a bum.
Oh, yeah. He can't space the floor. Rockets Twitter is not the.
They're dragging him through the mud.
It's not the. What's
Nicest.
the anti-word of toxic? What's the antonym? It's not the most loving and patient Twitter space. Trade Jalen Green though, right? Let's flip. I'd flip Jalen Green for Jaden Ivey.
I felt like we talked about this the other day, and you were so anti-trading Jalen Green.
That's the joke, yeah. That's sarcasm. Yeah.
Wow. Well, I feel like I don't know, man. I feel like you're being pretty mean. Okay, we got this. Sorry, guys. Took us
Mean. That's supportive.
Well, fuck you, Jackson. Quincy AC says Larry Hoover. Ready? So this is. I don't know why this is such a long.
The hell is this?
This is a full fucking intro. Quincy AC. Look at this shit. This is the Quincy AC mix you never thought you needed. Inside, I'm Quincy AC. That's my goal. I've always wanted to be Quincy AC. All right.
It's the laggiest video I've ever watched.
Is it laggy out of your head?
Yeah, but it might be perfectly fine.
It's perfectly fine on my end. Dude, this video I'm pretty sure has like Larry Hoover as the background. Quincy AC so thug. You didn't know you needed Quincy and AC in your life, okay? You didn't know. And you think these are his best highlights? Nah, let me show you his Maccabi Tel Aviv highlights. Henry, did you go see some Quincy AC when you were living in Israel?
You know, I don't think he was on the squad during my time there.
I think you're lying. He was.
No, we had Josh Nebo.
He was on the bad Maccabi team.
Wait, which team was he on?
The other one.
Oh no, I definitely did not. I missed it then.
But no, this is Tel Aviv,
George.
Maccabi Tel Aviv. Signature move, poster dunk. All right, ready?
Is that a goaltend?
Nah. It's just Quincy AC blocking the shit out of shit.
Well, it's so laggy. It looked like a goaltend.
The video's in slow-mo, so it's actually not laggy. It might just be how it looks. Look at this shit. He's LeBron. Did you see that? That was a recreation of LeBron's highlighting the...
It's laggy. I can't see it. I need glasses. Oh, can see the outline of that one.
Oh, that'll be a putback. Quincy.
I thought it was just gonna
AC.
be a screen. You see, the Target dude, Drew Wells or whatever.
Yeah.
On his hoop mixtape, like the first one's like a pass, and I was just thinking, ooh, I like that. I was just thinking like, oh, this is something Ciro would definitely
I'll put a
post,
screen.
like a little mixtape of him passing.
Yeah, it would be screened.
Yeah, screens and passes.
Dude, Quincy AC something else overseas.
This dude MVP.
Yeah, dude, I would run my offense through Quincy AC if I was them.
This is prime like 29.
Look at this shit. I
Quincy
love his flexing. Look at him running. And he pump fake the 3. We're done with Quincy AC love. Happy New Year, guys. Everyone send a message to Quincy AC. If you know him. All right, let's talk about the
call.
Huh?
I'll give him a call.
I hope you do. I've heard he's a nice guy. So, the Memphis Grizzlies, as we wrap up this, are on a 3-game losing streak after starting with the 3-game win streak when Ja returned. They are 10-22 now. So far, their leading scorer is Ja Morant, followed by Desmond Bane, who's having a great year. Jaren Jackson Jr. has returned to his 21 points per game scoring ways. But the fact that Ja Morant's almost out rebounding Jaren Jackson Jr. makes me question Jaren Jackson Jr.'s ability to be a man. And then Marcus Smart just forgot how to shoot a basketball. Santi Alama. But it's weird. Some days they give Santi Alama full reign, and then other days they're just like, no. But what is your guys' initial impact on this thing? Do you think this team will be able to make the play-in like Ja Morant's been saying? And, yeah, what are your guys' thoughts? I think Santi, he's been a guy who went from playing almost 30 minutes a night before Ja was back to now he's playing 20 minutes a night, kind of being in a 6-man role. What were your initial thoughts? And let me hear them.
It's a parade inside my city.
No,
I was looking at that earlier today, and the Rockets are I think the Rockets are the 10th seed at 16 and 15. Or no, I think it actually is the Lake Show at 16 and 16. And then you have, I think, Golden State at 11.
So
I don't think there's any. I used to, when it first happened and they won that game and Luke was on here, I was thinking, well, he was saying they're going to go 35 and 47.
Warriors are 15 and 17, Jazz are 15 and 19, then Grizz are in 13th and 10 and 22. So they're 5 games back from basically being in contention.
I think their only hope is a Rockets catastrophe. Which I guess
or
could
Jazz.
Not even a catastrophe. Well, the Jazz are the 12th seed. They're not going to make the play-in. They have to climb.
You don't have faith?
They have to climb Houston or LA, and you have to worry about Golden State. I think it's too late. I don't think the roster is talented enough. I don't really. The Marcus Smart move.
Leading rebounder Bismack Biyombo.
Hard to really even grasp because Ja missed 25 games. So I think now you'll start to see why Marcus was acquired. But I mean, losing Clark and Steven Adams, that was big. So I don't know if the West is gonna falter enough where even like 500 probably won't even get you in the play-in, which sounds crazy to say. You probably got to win 45 games. I don't know the math on that. Memphis is certainly capable of it. I don't. If I had to bet, I'd say probably not, but they're capable. Ja's not shooting well right now. They got to get that win tonight. They got to have a good week, good bounce back week here. Probably more of a next year. I guess there isn't really a rush. I mean, there kind of is because they were really good the last 2 years, but with the suspension.
What's the question?
Probably just make
right now
moves for next year.
for Memphis?
Yeah.
Moves for next year.
Yeah, I mean they're gonna have to win 45 games, probably make the play. So it might be too late, and when your best player misses 25 games, like they're probably internally chalking up non-finals win
Hmm. Are we factoring in a healthy Steven Adams, or are we assuming they're trying to get off that?
for the future.
Yeah.
Ooh, I don't know. I'm not sure. I think that'll be fine. I wouldn't view Steven Adams doesn't play in the playoffs. People love to forget that. Great regular season player for him.
I really do think that a dynamic front court piece like Pascal Siakam to pair nicely with Jaren Jackson, who could bring size. Pascal is shooting horrendously, which is a factor in his trade value. But someone who they could then play five out with,
There would be no
or
rebounding then,
or
Henry.
offense, or
There would be no rebounding if you brought in Pascal Siakam
he's a decent rebounder.
next to Jaren Jackson Jr.
I mean, you wouldn't trust the lineup of Jaren Jackson and Pascal to rebound in the playoffs.
No, Jaren Jackson Jr. is an abysmal rebounder.
Yeah, but that's like already like established. That's partially just due to his defensive matchups.
Yeah,
He's not a good rebounder. He's a terrible rebounder at the Olympics. But I mean,
I just think
I would trust this team I would trust that squad to gang rebound in the playoffs. You had Pascal to Ja and Bane and Jaren.
I also think at that point Pascal takes the ball out of Jaw's hand, and there would be spacing issues.
No.
Yes, yeah. His lack of shooting there would be
spacing.
But having a dynamic person to pair alongside Jackson, since Steve-O isn't incorporated into their playoff lineups, is like a next step. Like finding someone who can make the front court more dynamic.
Larry
Or-
Markkinen,
Yeah, that's a good one.
Kyle Kuzma, I'd rather have. Kyle Kuzma actually rebounds.
Probably same. Well, Pascal rebounds.
Yeah, but like Kyle Kuzma also is cheaper. You could
Definitely.
and I feel like that just works out. You wouldn't have to give up as much.
I agree.
But with the Grizzlies, realistically, is this season a scrap? Is this wasted? Are we done?
No.
What do you think,
But
Henry?
it's all sweet. Be sweet.
I think they make a run for the play.
I mean, yeah, probably. Do they have a run in them? Maybe, but
I just think this team, like they have the ability to go with Jaw and stuff. And I think one of their problems is, I heard a podcaster say it best. Over the years, they let Kyle Anderson walk. They let D'Anthony Milton walk. They did not walk, but they got rid of Tyus Jones. And I feel like I'm missing one more guy in there. But those three dudes were pretty integral dudes to what the Grizz do. And over the years, Kyle Anderson, they thought, I mean, granted, Brandon Clark wasn't supposed to be injured, but at this point, the guys who were supposed to be playing, Brandon Clark, okay, Mr.
Yeah.
Santi Alama.
I think you got to factor that in.
Yeah, but like the
I
thing
think
is,
they just liked what they had up. I mean, you're going to
The
have
young
to pay
guys
Melton, though, to come off the bench. Well, I'd rather have Marcus Smart.
but John Contra,
and pay
Jake
Marcus
Arabia, Luke Kennard, all those guys, they thought by letting Milton and I'm literally blanking on his name now, Anderson and Tyus
Anderson
Jones
sucks.
and Tyus Jones.
Tyus needed to be paid. Tyus is a starting point guard.
But they let
They
all
have to
those
pay him
guys
a
walk, thinking that the young
arm and
guys
a
were going to be
leg.
ready, but like the young guys weren't ready.
Yeah.
Is what I'm saying. And I think their biggest, everyone's saying like this big fall from grace from the 2 seed to where they are right now is because Ja Morant. And in previous years they had been fantastic, and I know that we've talked about it on here, the matchups that they went against the teams in previous years when Ja didn't play, they were like some of the worst teams in the league, so that stat was kind of curved. But the thing is they had a really good bench, one of the best benches in the league, and that bench is gone now, filled with a bunch of younglings who aren't ready for prime time. And that's why I think they're not as good. They don't have a backup point guard, and they had the best backup point guard for the last 4 years. They didn't go out and replace him. They just went.
that was always weird when they got like D Rose.
Yeah. I completely
Yeah.
forgot D Rose is on this team, and he's not doing shit.
No, he's in fact hurt right now.
Yeah, but even before that, he was averaging 8 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists. Like,
I mean, what can you expect from Rose?
Yeah.
What were they really expecting? More of a just leadership with Ja.
yeah, yeah. I think also
So
this.
yeah, I mean, I think you scrap this year. I definitely don't think you do anything.
I think you just start trying to move contracts. You have a bunch of bad contracts on this team. I don't think trading for anybody big is good. I think in the offseason, that's fine. Right now, it'd be a waste of a year. But if you could move some contracts around, maybe unless you want to keep the contracts for the offseason.
Jeez, I don't even know who has any interest other than Kennard.
I don't even think Kennard has interest. I mean, you could definitely move Brandon Clark, Steven Adams. I think if you look around the
For
young
what though? Are you getting like seconds? I guess, yeah.
and salary, I don't even know. I don't even
Yeah,
know.
but I mean neither are expiring. I'm not sure how much trade value's here.
For example, Brandon Clark
Clark is a good value contract. Someone could buy it on that.
Clark for Marvin Bagley and a second round pick or something. Yeah, I don't know if that gets.
I don't know if I don't even know if that. I don't think I would tweet that.
Whatever. Case in point, though, they're definitely not gonna make any moves to get better.
Yeah, so okay, we're in
not.
agreement. This is just a wash of a year.
Yeah. Yeah, unless barring a crazy run, this year is totally lost. Yeah.
Let's get to know. Anybody else has anything else they want to say about the Memphis Grizzlies?
They should sign Marc Gasol and trade for Mike Conley.
Marc Gasol is still a free agent. He's still playing professional.
Is he really?
Yeah, still going at it.
Good for him. Wow. Rude.
All right, let's do this Pirtle. I think this is Tyrese Maxey.
I think it's that might be Jeremy Grant.
It is interesting though, thinking about the guys they let go because they all are distinctly flawed, and they thought, "Hey, let's build through the draft. Let's surround this."
Is that 23? It's
Yeah.
Shaedon Sharp. It's a Western player, dog.
Shaedon Sharp's not 23, moron.
You just put in fucking Isaiah Stewart and you call me the moron and retard.
I feel like I know who this is. Bones Highland?
Ooh. Oh. Was it Southwest?
Yeah,
Oh, please don't be a Rocket.
I think he is.
What? Tari Eason's not 23. Do we even have a 23-year-old player?
Oh, I didn't realize. I don't even know who this is, dude. We know he's 6'5", and he's in the Southwest.
How tall? How old's Trey Jones?
And he's 23.
His hair's not like that though.
No, it's 25, 6'3", 6'5".
Oh, that says 25.
Yeah, 23.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you're saying numbers 25
Yeah.
ish? And that's a guard? I don't believe that's a guard. That looks like a Jeremy Grant almost. Nice. Out of nowhere.
Chris Rocket News.
Oh, the goat, Chris. Look at that.
Yeah, he came
Look
in.
at the kid.
The kid came in and got it for us.
Devin Vassell.
All right. Goat life. You guys got anything else you wanted to say?
The Bulls are going to make the playoffs. Probably make the NBA Finals. Then Lonzo comes back.
You
Then
believe
we
Bulls
that?
probably, then we
Bulls
probably pick up
under-
AD in a trade.
Bulls under 35.5 wins.
Oh, that's terrible. They're already almost there.
They're
What
already
do they got now? 13? What are they? 13 and 17?
You think it's gonna be the greatest turnaround of all time?
Kobe White, Jack, and Cheddar?
Oh,
Never
dude,
know.
I mashed the Andre Drummond first game when he went like 25-25.
This year,
Yeah. Yeah, I had $200 in free bets. I put them all on the Drummond rebounds over.
Did he get it?
and he went 25 of 25.
Yeah, he fucking smacked it.
Andre Drummond had that game this year.
Yeah, just against Atlanta. Damn, bro. He started like 3 straight games. He went nuts in 2 of them.
Oh, because Vooch is out.
Yeah.
Andre Drummond's like the Joe Flacco of the NBA.
Oh my god, dude, he went 24 of 25.
Am I wrong?
It was
Andre
crazy.
Drummond is the Joe Flacco of the NBA.
No.
The NBA moved on from Andre Drummond, but every time he's called into service like Joe Flacco, he fucking performs. Is he elite? Yes.
I think Drummond's been pretty solid for us Bulls players for the last couple of years.
Is Andre Drummond the Joe Flacco of the NBA?
He played 67 games last year. Come on.
Ah, bro, he's not a champion. He can't be.
Good points. We need
Joe Flacco also didn't play 13 games last year.
Joe has climbed the mountain.
Joe has climbed the mountain.
Andre Drummond's probably really bolstering his trade value with that. I love it.
Youngest 29-year-old in basketball.
You know what's crazy? Andre Drummond's 29.
I think so.
There's a dude at my gym who looks just like Andre Drummond. I should have pointed him out to you, and he talks
He's
to himself
30
all
as
the
a
time.
beast.
This dude's averaging 8 rebounds in 15 minutes a game per 36.
He's averaging 8 rebounds in 15 minutes a night.
Exactly what I said.
That's a great stat, Zero.
You just said per 36, you asshole.
No, I did not.
Yes, you did.
I got by per 36, he's got 20 rebounds.
His Nets numbers are insane, though. 22 minutes a night, 12 and 10.
Legend. Bulls legend, Andre Drummond.
He really could have had 30-something in that Atlanta game also. I only know because I was watching intensely.
People forget the year Andre Drummond decided to become one of the best passing big men and averaged like 17, 16, and 3. And 2 steals and like...
2 years ago, my most viewed video was Andre Drummond to the Lake Show during the buyout, and I was so excited. I thought they were about to win it all. That made me think one time on April Fool's Day, I made a video that the Lakers were going to trade for Steph Curry, and I got like 30,000 views.
Nice.
People actually believed it, even though it was a joke. And I said that it was a joke. Laker video is Danny Hoop Zero.
Really?
No, but that's just Danny. That's when I was on my Danny Hoop grind. Just Laker trade rumors. Kai Soto to the Lakers.
All right, I got to dip.
No, you guys are good. All right. That's going to be it for today, guys. Goat life. Bye, pussies.
Riverdale.
Yeah.